Intro. Intro. Got the intro. Hello, listeners. We are ready for this intro. I am very excited about episode 8. To big shout out to our sponsors out there in Slovenia, aka just listeners, not sponsors yet. But we got right here. I have my co-host Linnea, art therapist and friend.
Hello. Hi.
And also my good friend Mikey, and a real inspiring
Hello.
artist myself.
Yeah, very
Hello.
talented.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Hey. So,
And of
yeah.
course, we have Josiah, aka John, rocking
Yeah.
2 name hats today. So I'm going to try to be name inclusive with.
Yeah, that's all good. Starts with a
Yeah.
J. It's probably me.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Cool.
So we'll quickly go over the art invitations for those who want to art while we chat, and then we'll get into things. So we have 3 art invitations. The first is the artist logo. So create the most basic representation of yourself. And you can kind of think of what parts of yourself might be represented in this logo. You can do art as a tool. So think of a way that art has helped you recently, and what does it look like? And then the last one, self as onion. It's something that shows or represent your layers. Are you more like an onion or a parfait or a secret third thing? So if you feel like arting, you can. I will also show Mikey the beautiful work of art that John has made, or Josiah, sorry, has
That's
made
all good.
for today's episode.
Oh, that's my shirt.
I know.
Yeah, I love that shirt. Yeah,
Thank
you got,
you.
got my beard. You got my beard. I see my hair. Nice. That's a cool drawing. And you did the points, for shading.
I know.
Great.
Yeah. Something
Yeah,
we
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about previously. Yeah.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
made sure if I was going to do you, I was going to add the points in. So
Yeah, for sure.
thanks for
Yeah.
the pointers.
Oh,
And,
pun.
Yeah, there
and
you
you
go.
got the cheetahs.
Yes, I'm a big fan of that shirt.
Do you still have it?
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Where did you pick it up?
I got it at Simon's a couple months ago.
You got
Yeah.
that at Simon's?
Yeah. It's a
Nice.
brand from Montreal.
Montreal. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah.
Cool summer shirt.
It's a great summer shirt, and we'll have a side-by-side comparison on the podcast or on the Instagram.
On the Instagram, yeah.
So yeah,
You
Mike-
won't be able to tell the difference because they're just so similar.
they're almost mirror images. Yeah,
For
Yeah.
sure.
exactly.
Right on.
Yeah. So
Thanks for this,
Yeah.
Josiah. We
Hey, no
appreciate it.
problem. No problem.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, no
Actually,
problem.
the second drawing you made of me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yep.
I'm getting better. I mean, this time I made you a little bit American Dad with a giant chin.
Yeah.
Proportions
So
are challenging. You'll get
It's
it.
tough. As a new artist, it's really tough to.
It
Yeah.
is. It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
You gotta do it over and over again to used to
really,
it.
to really get used to it. Yeah. No. So I'd love to just know, and for like, because I've heard your story, and I think it's just so fascinating. But where did you start off in your art journey? Like, where do you want to start? Where do you want to start with us? Because we've got a couple times.
Well, sure. I'm just gonna start from the beginning and try to tell the story as much as I can remember.
Perfect.
I would say that I've been drawing ever since I first held the pencil. I'm from the Congo, Kinshasa. That's the main city over there. And ever since I started, what do you call the preschool, I've been drawing. Like I've been drawing little heads, been drawing animals. So I've always been known as a guy who draws in class, right?
Yes.
So that's how I started. And then I loved cartoons. So I drew a lot of cartoon characters, especially Goku, Dragon Ball Z.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So I used to draw Goku for my friends as well in class. And in
Nice.
every single book or notebook, I used to like draw stuff on it.
Yeah.
So And in geography, I remember I used to draw maps for myself and for friends as well.
Okay, that's sweet. What like
Yeah.
what was your purpose and details with the maps? So was it like people's homes to school? What kind of routes or
So we used to draw like maps of countries because we used to like it used to be big on like knowing where countries are, where
yeah.
they're located, and well, what's every interesting thing about the country, like the biggest rivers and whatnot. So I used to draw stuff like that, and I was quite. I mean, I thought I was good at it back then. I wasn't as good as now, but I used to feel like I was good at it. And
Yeah.
and so my friends at school would ask me to draw maps for them. So I used to do it for them. It was fun.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, I get to high school level. I'm still drawing cartoons. I'm still drawing Goku. I'm still drawing Justice League characters, Superman and whatnot.
Nice.
And I used to do cutouts when I was smaller. I used to do cutouts of cartoon characters and like make them get into fights and create whole narratives about,
Love that.
about yeah.
Nice.
But when I was in high school, there was a time where people in my class felt like drawings of cartoons were childish, juvenile.
Yeah.
So I stopped drawing.
Aw,
Oh,
the
no.
Yeah.
critics.
Yeah, I heard that episode, by the way, about the critics. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, yeah.
I stopped drawing for like a couple years. Like, I just felt like it wasn't cool and it didn't make me look cool. So I was like, I think I'm done with this.
Oh no.
Um, and then I didn't draw for like a couple years until I kind of missed it. I missed it and then got back into it. And I remember when I got back into it, I was like 16, 17. So I was drawing portraits of my favorite musicians. I
Yeah.
had like
Mhm.
drawings of Low Bow Wow, 50 Cent. Those were big influences back then.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I was in a French-speaking country, so a lot of the lyrics my parents didn't understand. So even though they were like very aggressive, because everybody spoke French, I would listen to them at the house, and my parents wouldn't even know that the content of the music was very
Yeah.
violent.
Listening to
Um,
Many Men by 50 Cent.
yeah, yeah, with the gunshots in the
Oh yeah,
background.
yeah. They'll be like, no, those are
Uh,
fireworks.
so, so that's when I got back into drawings. Like I would draw 50, I would draw Rihanna and everybody I used to listen to at the time. Um, and then going to university, I felt like I wanted to make original works of art. So I started creating my own characters, or like I would just put together a face from memory. I would draw an eye, a mouth, and it would be a character. And just going back a bit in high school, I made a couple of comic books of like 4 pages with a full
Yeah, yeah.
story. I used to love doing that too, and show it to my friends and family. And then, so at university, I kept drawing, but I was more into drawing original characters, especially digital art. So when I first started working on, I discovered Photoshop. In my so I, when I went to university, I studied economics, and in my first year, I failed a couple subjects of economics. So since I failed the first part of it, in the second semester, they reimbursed the money of the second part of the courses that I failed. So I used that money to buy a tablet to make digital art. So I started experimenting there, making digital art, and it was like very creative. I used to create like weird mixed up things. It was very busy. Like the drawings were they were like digital paintings, so they were very easy. And from there, I got into Instagram. So since I didn't have any art education, in my undergrad, I kind of like learned by what I saw. I started when I got on Instagram, I saw a lot of artists were making like portraits and whatever. So I was like, oh, this is cool. I kind of saw what I could do. I was like, oh, I need to try this, the shading technique that I used. So I trying. And that back then I was making portraits of like celebrities on Instagram. And so once in a while we get a repost. I would draw followers and they would repost it. And that got me more excited about drawing. So during that time, I filled up a lot of sketchbooks with portraits of people. people that I found interesting, people that followed me, people that once in a while a few celebrities, but I was staying away from celebrities because I felt like it was a bit cliche and everybody was doing the same thing. So I was like, I don't think that's original. So I was painting most of my followers.
That's awesome. It's a great way to be super interactive, you know. You would get like great feedback from people in that way. Did you find it like finding the inspiration to just do your regular followers? I know that would mean a lot to them in getting good feedback back and forth like that. Like
they get to be included.
It's a really cool way. Yeah, really cool way to do it. Just
yeah. No, that was really cool. Yeah. I really loved it. And it created a strong connection with my following as well. And I got instant feedback. And back then, 10 likes was a big deal.
Oh,
I feel like it's still a big deal.
Yeah, it still feels awesome. It still feels great.
So I would get my 10 likes. I was like, oh, 10 people like this.
Yeah.
From the guy who's getting the 10 likes over here, still feels
I'm here for it. Yeah. 10 likes is a good day for me.
Yeah. You're doing awesome. Man.
We're talking to a big shot.
He is in a great way. And for great reason. Your style is so vastly different from mine. I think your paintings are so vibrant and so expressive and such nice colors and details to them. Like something that when I was talking with Mike, like off air, we were talking about the difficulties of drawing hands for myself. And Mikey just like genuinely, and not to be braggadocious in any way, he's like, oh no, hands are easy. And I was like, what? I just make spaghetti mess noodles. And like this guy is like, he's making these sweet details of hands, and like the way, like I think you've done some self-portraits with your hand. I can only describe it as like sort of a matador sort of stance. But it's you, I think, drawing on an easel again or something along those lines. And I'm just like, I am fascinated with like the fact that it can just be so big and bold and open when you're doing it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like,
no, for sure. Yeah.
How does that, like, so with that style, like evolving from the cartoons to there, how did you get to there?
Good question.
Yeah, so fast forward, so when I was drawing portraits, I was in South Africa because I had moved to South Africa when I was 18 to pursue my bachelor. So I wasn't interested in painting back then. I felt like it was a lot of work and it would be a bit messier. And I didn't really understand the value of painting. So I was like, I'm just gonna do sketches with my pencil, my sketchbook. And then I moved to Dublin around 2015. And when I'm there, I'm still drawing and whatnot. And then I started planning to move to Canada. So I moved back to the Congo for a couple of years then. When I moved back to the Congo, I took part in this art competition that they organized there there's like a French consul over there that organized it. And most of the artists there, so I was in the competition there were a lot of like professional artists, people who studied art. So and there was this woman that was like a critique, and she was very like harsh with her critiques as well. I was like, wow. So that's when I kind of saw like, oh, painting is actually interesting. I was like, maybe I should give it a try. So I watched a few YouTube videos about like how to set up a canvas, but I kind of messed it up. I wasn't able to do it. So I contacted somebody from in French, we call it Académie des Beaux-Arts. That's the art school.
Okay.
And they showed me how to, put a canvas together, how to stretch the easel and stretch the canvas and whatnot. Yeah. Nice. And I tried my first painting, and it wasn't bad. I was like, okay. It was a lot of work getting used to, because it's like I was used to being so good at drawing, and now I have to restart painting, and it's just like it was difficult because the results were not as good as my drawings. I didn't like the results, so I was annoyed.
Question: do you paint with oil or acrylic?
Oil.
Oh, that's a whole other level of process. Mad respect.
Could you explain what that would be, Linnea? Like the difference between the two of them? Because I actually don't know. Like
Okay.
I've done Bob Ross paintings.
Okay.
But yeah, what's
The basic
difference?
acrylic is well, acrylic is plastic and it dries really
Yeah.
quickly. It has a different vibrancy. Oil, you can get rich layers. Like I have no experience with oil except one
Yeah.
painting, and we don't need to get into that, but it's a whole other ball game in my opinion. It takes like 6 months for a piece to dry. You can really work on it through the layers. And again, it's not my forte, so maybe Mikey can speak more about oil painting because
Yeah.
not my forte.
Yeah, I found the texture to it, what you said, the texture of the painting is also different. So it makes it more difficult to create shapes that are, that come out how you're thinking in your head.
Okay.
And that transition was a bit hard because I was like, I would paint and be like, okay, I feel like I'm good. It's okay,
Yeah.
but it's not as good. So I tried, took a break, tried again, like it, took a break.
Yeah.
And then took a long break until I moved to Canada during the pandemic. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give
Why
give it a
not?
try.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried with landscape painting.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't like the results. Like, oh, all right. So fast forward 2021, still in the pandemic, I try a self-portrait. And I think I when I before that I did a lot of drawings, and I feel like so when I got back into drawing after trying the bad paintings, I felt like I got better at drawing for some
Yeah.
reason. I don't know how that works, but I was like, oh, I think I learned some stuff like without knowing painting, and I got better at drawing. So I was like, okay. I'm gonna try go back to painting again. But this time I did more research. I followed a few people that paint. And I tried a self-portrait, but the approach was to paint the way I draw. So I would have a background with a pencil and then have the outline and fill it in with the paint.
Yeah.
And that self-portrait did not look bad. I was like, oh, that's the first painting that I liked.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is good. And also like I have a strong I have a strong sense of self. So I was thinking,
heck
if I'm
yeah.
gonna go up painting, I have to go all the way. I have to be as good as I am in drawing.
Yes.
So that was a goal. I need to be as good as the painting needs to be as good as my drawings.
Nice.
And that one was getting close to the goal.
Yeah. I'm glad you picked
yeah.
up those tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like they're just, I mean, I don't want to relate everything to building, or carpentry, but I find when you're using something new, like you mastered the pen, right? And you had kind of gotten to that medium, you've done it. And a lot of people are just going to stay in that lane. I find myself, I definitely do just stick into like, I'm on like the 0.005 felt pens, and like I'm like, if I touch another one, it just doesn't feel right. And like I got to get out of my own comfort zone and get out of my own way and maybe start using a little bit of colors, because like the way that I see your characters have evolved, and like I'm just glad that you did pick up that medium, because it's a different way to express yourself. Like Goku, we know what Goku looks like, we know what landscapes looks like, but now you've done stuff like you're taking things from your own mind and being able to express that in a way that just not just like the way a pen can do great, but like an oil painting and like learning that technique stuff seems like it would be a difficult, long process, and like you've just done it so well. So yeah.
Thanks.
Do you paint from references, or can you imagine it in your brain and just put it on the paper or the canvas?
So the way it starts is I have an idea in my head of the figure that I want, and then the next step would be to go on Pinterest and scroll for hours.
Yes.
Find references that I put together in Photoshop or OneNote to create whatever I want. And then from there, I now have an idea, make a sketch, and then I go to the canvas and try it out.
Yeah. Cool. I love that. I like so one of your things that I've seen from when we were looking through your iPad was your almost fashion like designs that you've been doing. You're saying that something along the lines, I don't want to know if I'm blowing up your spot here, but you're saying you wanted to do about 100 characters before you were to release something like that, and designs of the clothes and that stuff. So are you just using like sort of a baseline model and like small subtle movements, but your clothes are are the main focus of the character, or does it all work as one?
So with that, so I love fashion. Because of my mom. My mom loves fashion.
Yeah.
She studied fashion, so that's how I got into like loving looking presentable and stuff like that. So I follow this artist on Instagram. His name is Slowboy,
Yeah.
and he draws these illustrations. Yeah, he draws illustrations of himself and his friends in the fashion industry, and it's more like about the outfit. And I was like, wow, that's so nice. You know, I love fashion, and I would like to make something like that. And they look like he uses pastel pencils,
Yes.
and it just looks so good. So I was like, oh, I need to do my take on that. And my idea was to create characters that look like me. So when I draw, it's not a self-portrait, but I know how I look like. So I'm just like try and make a portrait of myself, but it's not gonna look like me because I'm not trying to recreate my face, but it's gonna look similar, right? You wanna see the beard, the hair, and whatnot. So I started documenting my outfits and outfits that I like.
Yes.
And my goal was, okay, when I reach 100 illustrations, maybe I can put out a book with all of those outfits. And also I thought about just like sharing my love for fashion and just showing men how to dress.
Yes,
Love
I
that.
think that
Yeah.
I'd 100% want that on my coffee table.
Yeah, for sure.
I've thumbed through some of them before, and I was just like, this is so nice. Like it is a quite Mikey, if you haven't seen him, has quite an eclectic taste, and it reminds me of like this sort of style of almost like the 40s sometimes to like 40s to 70s. Like you have just like
Modern.
it's a vintage, modern, just a beautiful vintage look.
Yeah.
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 When you print this book, can it be a large book so I could cut them out and make you like fight yourself or like have little
That
Mikey
would be
puppet
cool, yeah.
shows?
They'll be big
Throwback.
enough.
Yeah.
They'll be like bigger than my head. Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah, they can
perfect.
definitely fight each other.
We will make action characters for sure.
We can make
Hell
a
yeah.
stop motion animation.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So that was the idea. And also that's how I got into painting, from that good painting.
Yeah. As well as being an awesome artist. So you've also started dabbling into teaching kids. Like I don't know if it was a one-time thing, but the last time we talked, it was once or twice you were showing kids how to draw sort of in your style, which I thought was really cool because you had a whole class of kids who basically were pumping out stuff that looked like quite like pretty advanced for that age group. So
Yeah. So that was so somebody reached out to me about the idea, somebody that works in the French school here in Halifax. And they wanted to have a painting workshop with their students. So I told them right away, I was like, I love the idea. I would do it for free. I would do it for free. Like, if you're gonna pay me, great. But I would do it for free because I just never had the opportunity to do that, and just getting the experience to pass on knowledge, because I feel I'm a thinker. I'm an artist. I think a lot, and I love sharing what I know. So we had sessions, like 5 sessions, and they would like I walk them through the whole painting process. But before that, I watched a few tutorials about how to do a workshop, how to paint, teach a painting class. And also I created a full breakdown of all of the steps in the session using ChatGPT, right? I was like, okay, create a full breakdown on everything that I have to do, when I have to do them. And I had a full breakdown of all the tasks that I had to do.
Nice.
So yeah, that was so good because like the kids were so excited, so happy to do that, to create those paintings. And my idea was I knew that they were 10 years old. I knew that they can't replicate paintings at the level of detail that I do. But it was about like the painting is like speaking, and everybody has a voice, right? I don't have to speak like Lil Wayne because I'm not Lil Wayne, right? So I don't have to sound like nobody else. So I told him whatever's gonna come out of this is you. That's your voice, and that's how art is supposed to be. That's how you find your foothold in art. Like you have to go from whatever is natural that you're creating, and it doesn't have to be realistic. There's no standard for like, oh, it has to be good. It has to be this way. So you do whatever you want. And that's where we went. And everybody had their own unique painting that looked like whatever they came up with, but they all looked like faces, right?
Yes.
Portraits. Yeah.
They were very legible from what I've seen. So I think that we should definitely put up like a full little kind of bar and section, because I'd love for people to actually see how legible it was for kids of the age of 10 to be able to make something so legible. And I think it's great that like you're doing something with these guys at such a pivotal age in their moment. And like, this might have been their first taste of doing something where they're like, I'm good at this. This is cool. Sure. So you could have woken up like the future generations of like the next artist.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's so important for you to be doing.
And they had an exhibition at the school of all of their paintings, and everybody came to see it because it was during a Black History Month. So the entire school got to see it. The school, the dean of the school, and everybody was very impressed by that.
Nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah. And at such a pivotal age, you know, you mentioned you had kind of stopped making art in your teenage years. And that is such a normal thing for most artists, young artists going to older artists, to stop making art, because it's at that age where they become aware that their peers can be very critical of themselves. So a lot of people will stop making art, and a lot of people don't go back to it. So for you to have found it again is amazing. And then for you to be that mentor for these younger people of like, hey, I'm an adult artist and you can make cool art. That's so cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's a great full circle moment. Like I know when you mentioned to me, you were like, it's something that you would want to pass on to, like, it's not just for you to have and for people who do buy and collect your art to have, but like you can make something that's so personal to like your children, right? Your child.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's like he might pick out like one that's their absolute favorite, right? Like
yeah. It's actually, just to add to that, when I paint, I think about like how am I going to be remembered, right? So I think about my kids as well. I have one son now.
Yeah.
I think about like how it's like I'm planting little messages in those paintings. So they're like little chambers of ideas.
Nice. Yeah.
Whoa.
So like layers for layers into your art.
The
Sweet.
parfait.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Who have been some of your favorite artists, or the artists that have influenced you the most? You kind of mentioned your mother. I don't know if you were going to mention her in this answer.
So my mom was more into fashion, so I think she influenced my sense of style. But when it comes to artists, painters, and I would say, especially painting, like the greats, like Da Vinci and Michelangelo, those are definitely the first people I looked at. But I found this guy called Jacques-Louis David. Jacques-Louis David is a French painter, I believe, of the neoclassical era. And I draw a lot of inspiration from the way he paints, but personalized. Like I make it, I still use it as my own voice, but it's the way people are positioned and the lighting. It's kind of like influenced heavily by that artist. His name is Jean-Louis Jacques David, or whatever, in a different order, but he has three first names.
Hey, welcome to the club. My name's Josiah Jonathan Hurley Goodyear. Sometimes your parents are a little regal. That's fine.
Yeah. So it's that guy, and it's another guy called Anders Zorn. I believe he's from Sweden or somewhere up there. And his paintings were just like very, very influential to me. And also William Bouguereau. I think he's French. He's also a big influence. Okay. Also, actually, Jean-Michel Basquiat is also like a very big influence. Like I love him, even though I don't like him, but just his vibe. Like the idea of not going to art school, kind of like I feel like I'm very close to him in that way.
Yeah. No, that's great. You seem to have a very strong to the French connection. Right, with
yes.
Yeah, you kind of just get into like the grooves and what you know, and you see you're like, this is what I like. That's cool. Like that you can get those things and sort of recognize and be like, oh, I see this style, I like this style, but you're not copying it, but you're basically you're making it truly your own. Like
Yeah.
Like I started off when I was drawing. I
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. 2 weeks ago. In my I'm still in that infancy stage of basically when I see an album cover, I'm like, I want to kind of do something along those lines and go with it. Like at first it was do exactly what the album cover is. And then after that, you're like, okay, I'm going to take something from this album cover. Like I would take things like a UFC fighter, and then I would make an alien and a monkey and just put those guys and superimpose them in my mind to draw over that type of stuff. So like, I think it's cool to just sort of, the more you look, the more you're going to find there.
And it's such a good time to be an artist now because there have been so many different styles to borrow from and to be influenced by. And the internet, we have the internet, and we can literally look up almost every single painting in the world. Like
totally. Yeah,
yes, exactly. But
the internet is a big thing. It's really, especially when you are freestyle or whatever, or you didn't go to art school, like the internet is the school.
Yeah,
big time.
Yeah.
And I think, and I did end up going to art school, but I'm not a huge advocate of art school. You get to really cater your education and what you want to learn when you're self-taught. You get to find out your own technique. Yes, you're, borrowing information from YouTube or whatever, but you're really sticking to your own authenticity. And I think that's so important to have that authentic voice in your art. And maybe that's my art therapist biased opinion, but I think that's just what makes art good.
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know.
I think that's, I agree. Yeah, that's what makes art unique. You gotta have your own fingerprint.
Yeah.
Do you have any sort of advice for artists who might be starting out as artists or maybe struggling as an artist, not knowing what to make or?
Starting out, well, I would say first, it's good to practice a lot to get the technique down, to understand what you want to do, and also to be free in that understanding your own handwriting. But in art, you gotta understand what's unique to you. If you like drawing boxy characters, get better at drawing boxy characters. So like really understanding that sense of originality. And also, it's important to know art history. I find I did a lot of research on art history. I listened to podcasts on art history. I find a lot of self-taught artists don't know that, and it's very important to know that because when you know art history, you can position yourself in history, right? You can understand what path you're taking, what you want to live for, because art is about. When you think about the caveman, we remember what used to be around them because we see those drawings, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It's about like the people, whenever you pass away, whenever we all pass away, like it's like art has to represent whatever was happening in our time. That's why I think it's important to understand the history of art to really know where you're going with your art. I think that made sense, right?
That was beautiful.
100%.
And it almost sounds like you're talking about how art can be this visual journal of like reflection of self, but also this representation of the world around you and what, the vibe check for everything around you, which is so cool and so true in my experience.
I would say with your history, like, you started off as a kid, you were doing, what was the most important thing to you? Dragon Ball Z. You get a little older, you're like, okay, the next thing that's important to me, I like, it's like you got 50 Cent and who was it?
Rihanna.
Wow. All those guys. Like whatever's important to you at the time, it is writing your own chapters. It's a diary for those who can't, like for me, myself as a guy with dyslexia. I've found it's nice to be able to kind of paint or draw my own story. And it's something because I've never been able to have a journal, and having the means to now kind of tell things from my past in pen has been really cathartic for myself. I'll take drawings from things from the army or characters from people that I've met throughout my life. And the more that I've been drawing, the more interesting people I've been meeting that have been just organically popping in and out of my life. Like I find people just sort of, if they see you're writing in a cafe or drawing, people kind of want to see what's going on. And then that allows you and opens up doors to like avenues of conversations that would just generally never happen. So like, yes, I fully am on board with drawing your own past and history, and it's cool to just sort of cap it off and be able to say, this is what happened to me, this is where I was. And the fact that you keep evolving, it will eventually show like your whole thing, because we will go into the ground eventually. But it's a cool way to caption your story. Yeah.
I also like hearing of the evolution of your art process, you know, going from drawing, getting some digital, trying paint, going back and like switching back and forth. And yeah, I'm curious if you have any, you know, hopes for the future of like new mediums you want to try, or
Right now, I'm loving oil pastels.
ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think I would try those. I would try that, but I think with my primary medium, I would try oil pastels because I like how it looks, the texture of it. And also, I think it's quick to make. I still have to like kind of figure it out because it's also confusing to understand how to make a nice drawing with oil pastels. As of now, I'm still trying to figure it out. I've tried a few things that I've destroyed.
Yeah.
But painting is like, I think now I'm so in love with painting that I think it's gonna be my main for the next decade at least.
I can see that.
This
You've really
fashion lookbook you were speaking of, it, were those drawings or is that
Those are
painting?
digital. No, those are digital illustrations, but I'm using a pastel pen thing. I mean, so you select the kind of like tool you want, even though it's digital. So I'm using pastel on the iPad. So it's like
Gotcha.
pastel lines or pastels, and they're really all over.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any of these images posted on the internet, or are we gonna have to
I
wait for the
have
book release?
I posted a few on a secret page. That's not so secret because people know of it. But I have a page. I don't think John knows of it. I have a page. I decided to post on this page that I started. It's called it's a French word. Sorry, it's too much French in my life.
That's okay.
Pluto,
No problem.
Pluto still. I'm writing it in the chat now. Like that. And I thought I was going to document all of the drawings, but then I changed my mind. So now I only have 4 illustrations, I believe, posted on there, on that page on Instagram. And it's just living there. But I'm not posting much because I have about 20 illustrations right now. 22.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, 20 what again?
22. Yeah. Right now I have 22.
Okay.
When did you start that?
Started it like a year ago.
Okay. It's pretty
Yeah,
solid collection.
You've been busy.
Yeah.
In one year to make 20 pieces, 22 pieces.
Yeah. So when I have time, I draw one, and then maybe the next month I'll draw another one. Just to, it's kind of like I'm thinking, okay, let's stitch men out to dress. Those who don't know, those who don't know, that's just to show what's out there. What are the diverse styles you can try, and
I think the fashion choices you choose are accessible too. That's the thing that's important from when I've seen from your drawings and examples. It's not hard, but they're simple pieces, right? And it's basically like if you have that diagram and you go to, I don't want like Smirch says, I love Value Village because you have every style of thing there. For thrifting it, you could either do absolute high end if you got the budget for it, but if you know you're balling on a budget like most of us, times are tough, and you could take that and you can really be like help yourself fit with that sort of style and that mold. And I think it's a great way to represent yourself.
You can even just buy fabric. I bought this is a blanket that I got from the thrift, and I'm cutting it up, and I made shorts, and I sent Josiah John a picture earlier. But like $4 for a big hunk of fabric. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so you know how to make clothes? You make clothes?
Yeah, that was, I've been sewing for maybe like 20 years now. That's kind of how we met, because I got the space parachute job because I knew how to sew.
Yes.
And I did like next to no sewing. I think there were 2 days where I sewed and they're like, we don't want you to do this anymore. Like, what am I doing here then?
Yeah. they lied to you. They kind of bait and switched you. They're like, yeah, it's a sewing job. And then Linnea and I ended up, making space parachutes for better part of a year. And yeah, it was good times.
It was making space parachutes the same way you make a table from IKEA. Like,
yeah,
we got the parts and we put them together.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah.
It was definitely fun and interesting spot
Yeah,
to meet
made
up
for
at.
some good stories. Yeah.
100%.
That's really good.
Yeah. So
so as our podcast kind of about art and healing, do you have any, have you made the connection between art and healing? Do you find making art healing for you? Or am I reaching?
I don't know.
You can say no. It's okay.
Sorry, what am I saying? I just need to think about it because I never recognize the healing properties of art, right? I understand that expressing that can be healing, but I haven't really experienced with that. My experience with art, I guess when I paint, I'm able to zone out. So I think that's an healing tool that can be used because I never done any drugs, right? But I know of the experience of doing drugs, and when people talk about it, and I kind of like feel like when I paint, it's the same because I'm really like spaced out, right? I'm really like in a different place. I don't even see the time taken, and I finish a paint. I'm like 5 hours passed. So I think that's healing, but I haven't experienced this myself to say for sure. But I think that could be the healing factor there. What do you think?
Yeah, we talk about that in almost every other episode, that flow state that we get into when we're making art, and how the world, like, there's so much stuff going on, but when you're painting, nothing else matters. Nothing else is real. Yeah, very cool.
So I think that would be it.
I think it's definitely part of it's for sure a healing property, and it's helped me in that sort of regards. But I like the fact, like Linnea just said, the flow state, just such an important and cool zone to get into, to just give yourself that time to recharge and just do something like that. So yeah
and also the ability to process emotions while painting. I think would be a really good thing for healing. I may have healed passively without knowing, but I think that when you paint, you really get to think about what you paint, like you really get to break it down. And I'm finding that it's kind of the same process as healing would be.
I think it's definitely a great way to you've just naturally been healing, or just recharging like that. I didn't realize that some of my coping mechanisms were lifting weights. That was something that I used to use to de-stress or debunk myself, and then I found out later on that cold plunging was also along the same lines. And then so I do cold plunging, lift weights, and with that, it's a really good way to keep yourself on track out there. So.
I agree. I think I may not be aware of my coping mechanisms.
You're just naturally healthy. That's awesome.
Yeah,
good for you. Congratulations.
When I listen to music, like when I listen to music, I especially sad songs really get me into painting mode.
Oh yeah.
Like that, like expressing sadness through art is really a thing that I was doing for a very long time, and I really enjoy that. Yeah.
I think Linnea said the same thing last time we were on the episode with each other. A sad song can really help you do a lot of good stuff on the canvas, I guess.
Yeah, and really like lock into that feeling and hold on to it.
Yeah.
And one thing that I admire about Josiah John is that
John Saya.
There we go. He is such a move through things. He's such a fighter, and I can be a little avoidant, but whatever. But just his like, no, we're gonna go through this head on. I was like, whoa, calm down, sir. But it's like, oh, maybe I have something to learn from this guy. So yeah, respect.
It's definitely. I remember we made some T-shirts where we screen printed them, right?
Yeah.
And John was like, "Yeah, let's go, let's do it." Right? I was like, "Oh no, I don't know if we do it." He was like, "Okay, let's just do it." And I was like, "Okay, let's go for it."
Yeah. I love those shirts. I still rock them out. They're beauty.
Which shirts are they?
Me too.
It's comfy tees. They were a little line that they were a line that I gave you, I guess, so for when you were putting out your art, they could just kind of sit along there and people could kind of help and support with a t-shirt that you basically designed and I screen printed.
Oh, collaboration.
Yeah, it was beauty.
Yeah.
It was a real beauty, and I that's one of my top tier favorite shirts by far. Yeah.
Ooh, we'll have
And those
to
shirts
put a pic.
look good.
We definitely will get a pic of that. We got some great
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And those shirts really, they really look good. They're really up to standards of good shirts.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
look forward to doing some more. We can just
Sure.
I'd always love to do another collab and just make something fun and fresh.
h- how do you find time to paint? I feel like you have a busy
Yeah.
life. You've got a job,
Yeah.
a son. That's a
Yeah,
lot of
it's my life is super busy right now. I don't know how I'm doing it. But so I would say it started with painting up, drawing after school, and then painting or drawing after class at university. Now, after work, I'm with a kid, whenever I find time really after work or on the weekends, because I'm also doing a master's right now online and part-time.
No.
Do you live in a
Juggling you
different
do?
timeline where you have multiple hours in a day? What are you doing for your master's?
I'm doing a master's in data science.
Okay,
Not
that
even
sounds
related, but awesome.
Ooh, I get so
Yeah.
many visuals when you say that because there's a way to like visually represent data as
Yeah.
well. I can
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
that. I can see you
Yeah.
doing that well.
There's a lot of connection to creativity. So there's a lot of data science is big on problem solving.
Yeah.
And creativity is big on problem solving. So
Yeah.
creativity is problem solving.
Bam.
And that's where the connection is. And you can also represent data through visuals, and that's the best way to understand it. I realized it over the years, and I was like, wow, okay. So creativity is really just problem solving.
I like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
110%. I think when
Yeah.
you're in new spaces and you're like, oh, we have this problem, you're like, okay, I guess we got to kind of try and get over this one.
Yeah.
Like, I think through the silk screening process of like making t-shirts, I had no idea what I was doing when I first stepped into that world. And I didn't realize how many hurdles I was going to have to go over. I was just like, yeah, you just put paint through the screen, it goes on the shirt, and that's the end of it. I was like, no, I had no idea I'd have to learn about photo emulsion, like learning how to cast and make molds, and like how to properly line these things up. Everything from lining a t-shirt up to a scraping of the paint, it just all takes thousands of hours of effort just to make these one moment or t-shirt or something in line. So creativity is hard, and it's not for the faint of heart. You will fail a million times to just get that smallest of successes.
And you gotta be okay with failing.
Oh yeah, failure is a big part of it. Just check the ego and be like, yep, this is going to kind of suck. All right, and then we just kind of roll on through.
It's growing pains.
Yeah.
It's learning.
Yes.
It's icky, but the reward is
So worth
there if you're willing to sit through the ick.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like we talked about that in another podcast, but it's all blending into one now, I think.
The Mikey.
It's a recap.
Sorry?
It's a recap.
Oh yeah. It's a running theme, but it's honestly it's needed. It's needed if you're gonna keep growing as an artist. You will have to fail and trip up and start again. So
Yeah.
I love that. Any other points of your story that you want to share?
So I would say that once I kind of felt comfortable painting, I decided to pursue it professionally in a way.
Yeah.
Trying to see what I can accomplish, how far I can go, and if I can do the things that the people that inspire me have done, those artists that I mentioned earlier. So I've been exhibiting. I had a show last year, my first show in a nonprofit gallery downtown. I got to have a painting at the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia as well.
That's a great painting, by the way.
Yeah, right now, one of the biggest, I'm attending the Toronto Outdoors Art Fair this July, and that's the biggest art thing I've ever done with real art people. I like calling them art person, but I like calling them art people. And that just feels like, it feels so great because I'm near like I'm gonna be around some artists that are really good, that take this seriously, and just like feeling like I've reached that level makes me feel really good.
Nice. Yeah. You've crossed another threshold to basically be in that arena.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's wicked.
is this a space to sell your art?
Yes. So that's where we're going to be meeting sellers, collectors, and anybody who's interested in art. So people come to fairs to just buy art. And that's as part of learning how to paint, draw, I had to figure out how to make money in art. And that's how you make money in art. You have to go to the fair because that's where the collectors are coming. And art is a thing, it's kind of like a luxury in a bit because people don't need it to survive physically, right? They don't need it. It's not like food.
Yeah.
It's not like food, right? If you don't have food, you're gonna die. Like if you don't see a painting, you may live. But if art is very, ingrained in our humanity.
Yeah.
So it's hard to find people who want to buy art and pay for it at the price that you are suggesting.
Yes.
But when you go to the fair, everybody that loves art comes together in a group and goes like, we're going to buy art all together. So that's where you make the right connections. That's where you meet the collectors. That's where you meet the creators. So that's where the art market thing happens.
Oh, wow.
Very cool.
So what's it called? When is it? And where's it located?
It's called the Toronto Outdoor Art Fair. Okay. It's going to be on Nathan Phillips Square.
Yes.
Right in the middle of Toronto. And it's going to be over 3 days from the 11th to the 13th. So I'll be out there in a booth selling my paintings.
That would be great if any of our Toronto listeners could get in there and be able to see and say hi to Mikey and just help support locally. That would be just wonderful. So you never know.
That would be amazing. How many paintings are you bringing? How are you getting them there? Because that's a
so I'm bringing so I'm bringing 6 paintings and I'm shipping them to my sister who lives in Toronto.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna fly in and get the painting, show them because she's a student there. And also I got a bursary from them, a travel bursary that they give to select artists. So they're gonna pay me back for my traveling. So
hell yeah.
Man.
Yeah,
right
for my hotel and shipping and hotel shipping flights.
Perfect, my man.
That's
Rightfully
awesome.
so. We need to see more stuff like this out there.
Yeah. So that's one of the most exciting things I've ever done in art.
I'm excited to see it, man.
There might be some of our listeners who might not be able to afford your paintings. Do you ever do prints or is it just paintings or bust?
So I plan to do prints in the future. Right now I don't have any prints. And it's also because I have a degree in economics. I understand demand and supply. And I will only supply more if there's more demand. And I understand the position of art in the market, just the economy overall. I understand that people buy a car and buy food and art after. So the supply is based on all of those factors.
Yeah. So we could help. People could help supply if we make some more t-shirts for you. I mean, that way it's people are walking around with your art on their back and they can kind of see it. So we still have a few left for sure that we can just wrangle up and throw your way and just do anything with it, any colors, what you want. And I think it'd be really, really neat to see some people walking around with your live art on their backs.
We could do that. Them online. But I will be making limited edition prints because I want people to have my work as well. I want them to be able to collect it. But I don't want to oversaturate the market because the more that may decrease the value of the paintings.
I love that you're thinking, I have not taken any economics. So you're really thinking as an artist, as an economist.
Yeah, economist,
I love hearing that perspective.
Know your worth and know that you've put in thousands of hours to hit this moment. So I'm glad. Keep the prices at what they're at. You're completely worth it. So
Aw.
somebody will come along.
Thanks.
Problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's what I've been up to as of late.
absolutely. Perfect.
Awesome. Cool. So
Yeah.
we'll share a link to your Instagram, and we'll probably want to share the info about the outdoor art fair. We have 20 listeners in Toronto, so I hope all 20 of them
Good.
go and see you and say hi.
Yeah.
That would be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so nice talking to you today. I loved everything you mentioned, and I took notes, and I'm stumbling to remember my favorite parts. So yeah, thanks for
I have
coming
one
on.
No.
One
Ooh,
last
yes.
question. One last little quick question. Just
Okay.
because on this show we have a playlist, and we'd love for you to add one cool song for sure. If you got one.
I sent the song to Linnea, and it was the song "I Love This Feeling" by Nas.
Okay.
It's from his album Magic 3, and that song is like, when I heard it, it just had everything I was thinking. So
Nice.
that's why I love that song.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right on.
It's yeah, perfect.
Also,
all right, well,
It's a great song.
last episode we were suggesting homework for our listeners. I want to give homework to Josiah, and
okay, let's do it. What's the homework?
I want you to draw one of our listeners as inspired by.
Oh, 100%.
I think that would be so sweet. But
who
anyways,
should we pick?
I don't know. We'll have to ask them who wants to be drawn.
Okay.
So we'll figure that out, maybe how we're gonna do that.
You can contact us on our Instagram page, and we'll try and figure it out who I can draw.
Yeah, and he'll do such a great job.
Yeah, I have thick skin. I'm not that great.
You just have a unique style. Yeah. Thank you. We love it. Right on.
Yeah. Okay.
So thanks everyone for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mikey. This is great.
Thank you, guys, and thanks for having me. Very happy to have had this conversation with you guys.
Yeah, it was great hearing your story.
Right.
Until
Peace
next
out,
time,
guys.
peace out.
Bye-bye.
See you.